Hello YouTube, this is EdBan24, and here I'm going to be giving my comments, remarks, and opinion about just overall media, well, more particularly anime media in America. I just have to say, why? My first question is, why Time Warner Cable with their which owns Cartoon Network, what possessed them to cancel Toonami? I know this was 2 years ago, and I know I knew this already, but I felt that after a year or so, I feel that they would have seen significant drops in views overall. Um, yeah, I just want to know why. I feel that anime in America is a huge industry. It's very vibrant. It's had an influence on movies, bookstore sales, clothing sales, of course, just overall merchandise sales, internet, internet sales with advertisement on like the websites. I don't know why they decided to cancel it. Um, when I thought when Toonami actually went off the air, I felt sad, somewhat, but I felt that when Cartoon Network decided to launch Toonami Jetstream, for those of you who don't know, it was a website devoted to solely anime. I felt that, okay, at the very least, that they're gonna keep like some form of anime on their on their roster, and then possibly about half a year ago, they decided to scrap the website. Why, I don't know. For me, it introduced me to a lot of new anime shows, such as Hikaru no Go, Ice Shield 21, Mare, which I did not hear about until I started watching. It reintroduced me to Jack Spell, and I felt continued the series for about 3 or 4 more seasons after it stopped airing on Cartoon Network when Toonami went off the air. They brought up Dragon Ball Z, some classics. They brought a little bit. They brought Gundam, which I thought was a great idea. They brought Gundam. Um, yeah. So I just want to know why they canceled it. Just to give I did watch Cartoon Network as a kid, and when I was as a kid and up until about 3 years ago. I did watch it regularly when Toonami went off the air. I kind of dabbled in and out. Then when they just scrapped all Japanese shows, like after 3 months or so, I just stopped watching it altogether. I started turning to the internet for sources of anime, such as YouTube, Crunchyroll, Hulu, which is doing a very great job of bringing back a lot of the anime people can't find. Um, for those of you who don't have like Nicktoons Network, which is doing a very great job of keeping anime still in America, they're running Dragon Ball Z Kai, a remastered version of Dragon Ball Z. They're running Naruto Shippuden, which I felt was great. Um, yeah, but even more over now, Cartoon Network, I'm not going to say they're still running anime, they're still running Bleach, they're still running notable anime such as that, usually on a 7 to 9 time slot. Alternating with like the Boondocks, which is also a great American show, and I have to applaud them. And just on a side note, Boondocks. Why they're feeling the need, they're considered canceling the show, I feel is completely unnecessary. I know many of you are very critical about their controversial opinions in the show. However, it is a comedy. It's a satire. It's just meant to poke fun at American culture and like be honest with yourself. Like don't be hypocrites. You know, like you be talking to your friends like this. So don't be hypocrites talking about like it's racially offensive. Yes, I'm African American and I find it hilarious. I personally don't usually talk like this, but I still find it funny because a lot of my friends who are both African American, white, Hispanics, Latinos all find it funny. Um, yeah. Aaron McGruder is a genius in my opinion in terms of his use. I felt it brought like a kind of American anime style show, which is all American, and I thought was hilarious. It really brought it really brought a lot of elements that a lot of shows are missing. It wasn't like dumb, like stupid funny when people are doing such cliche, predictable things, and you know how the episode is gonna end. Yeah, and they spend like 2.5 months like advertising on a 30-minute special, which makes no sense to me. I mean, if you're gonna advertise for 2.5 months, it should be like an hour or an hour and a half, but not like 30 minutes. I mean, you could just do that in like the week of. Honestly, really, you don't need to like advertise it for 2.5 months. Um, yeah, but continuing, um, it brought a lot. It had great comedy. It wasn't cliche. It wasn't cliche, stupid, funny. It wasn't predictable. It was something that you never knew what was gonna happen next. And it wasn't like they just brought up like completely new characters for like one episode and never showed them again. I mean, most of the characters, most notably like Magnificent, a pit named Slipback, notable other characters, they showed them like a lot. First season they really kind of didn't do that, but second season they really stepped up. Third season, I'm not gonna lie, they kind of slipped up, but it was still I still enjoyed it. It was very funny. Third season, just a positive note, I really like the way they remastered. They started using higher resolution on like when they're making the actual physical cartoons. I felt like they really brought like a new light to the characters. They started doing like kind of the old stuff, and the opening. It wasn't like they just completely like forgot about the first two seasons. They just footage from both first and second season and new footage from third season, which is very rare. And for those of you who want, like, they actually put the lyrics as like on the side as the song was playing, which for those of you who were observant and can't hear, you could understand like what the song was, the opening, the theme song. But yeah, continuing, America has stopped airing a lot of good shows. Not because the series ended in Japan and thus they don't want to confuse people. Like if that's the case, then fine. I mean, like Yu Yu Hakusho, like when it ended in Japan, they went like as far and they stopped. Okay, I understand that. Dragon Ball Z, same thing. Um, Notable others like, but Jack Bell continued for I think about another year and a half before like from the end of the American dub version, which made no sense to me. I felt that they didn't end the series in the way they should have. They left like many unanswered questions, and even when the anime kind of ended, that was fine. But the manga was still vibrant. A lot of notable websites that provide manga are going down now. One Manga, for those of you who are aware, One Manga is not playing anymore. I don't know why. If it's because like they're just trying to like save money. One Manga was had a huge library of manga. When One Manga went down, I said to myself, why are they doing this? Why bring One Manga down? One Manga was a great website. And it wasn't like they were doing anything bad. They had large amounts of advertisement. They were sharing profits, I believe. I mean, they were doing a great job. I'm really annoyed about what they're doing now. One Manga is trying their best to stay alive. They really are. They're now like they're giving more features. Like instead of being an actual provider of manga, they're becoming a more of a search query for manga. About a month after, like actually not a month, but about 2 weeks after it went down, they brought up a new feature about showing similar manga to when you're clicking them. So say if you like Naruto, you would then get a result for say Bleach or various other aspects that were similar or produced by the same manga company or magazine. Um, and yeah, they're trying their best. For those of you, they have a Facebook group. I might put a link. Um, Please try and support One Manga. They're trying their best to stay afloat. I see views going down. They're not updating the website as often anymore, but they're really trying to stay alive. They have a new feature called My Manga. Apparently, you can if you're an up and coming manga artist or you're just a cartoonist in general, I believe you can upload like your own like manga or cartoon series on their website.